So in this video, I had 2 people comment how they wanted a detailed guide about some artifacts. I was like, or about all the artifacts. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. I'm not a guide maker though, so I don't know how much my opinion, is valid or, valuable. But I'll do my best, all right? And this is gonna be, not really well put together, but, this is my scuffed artifact guide and how to or what to do. So yeah, so with artifacts, I'm going to categorize it into 4 tiers. There's going to be, high priority, basically your tier 1 tier. All right, everything in this tier you should probably have a good set of, probably want to put your resin into this the most. Second tier, you got, second priority or great, whichever one you want to call it. This is going to be ones like, it'd be good to have or good to use because it's, overall we're just pretty good. Third, all right, this is where it gets really weird. All right, this is going to be character or team dependent. These are still good, but it all depends on what your team is and what character you're using, because not every character uses the same artifact, obviously, and it's not something you want to always be farming for, because maybe the second artifact in it sucks and it wouldn't be worth it to dump all your resin into it. So yeah, that's the 3rd tier. 4th tier, what I think is just terrible or just not worth farming at all will be anything that's not beneficial to your account at all, or both artifacts in it aren't good, or only one character uses it and that character is just okay, but it's in the strong box and you might as well just farm there. All right, I'll list everyone in terrible and then work my way up to the high priority, and then you can probably draw your own conclusions from there. I don't know. All right, I don't know your account. I don't know what you need. Maybe I will in the future. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, in the terrible tier, we have things I think people already know. But the main 4 that I think you should never go for or farm: Maiden, Thunder Soother, Lava Walker, Bloodstained, Pale Flame, Bow Light, and Archaic. Honestly, 4 of them are defensive, right? They're all very defensive centric, and its 4-piece stat isn't that good. Maidens just gives you healing. Thunder Soother gives you electro resistance, but then its 4th set or 4-piece set gives you electro damage if they have electro applied, which is, I guess it's okay, but you're never gonna really farm it, and it's just not worth it because there's other pieces that are better. Lava Walker's the same, but Pyro. Bolide, it's just terrible because it's if you have a shield on, and not every team uses a shield, so not good at all. Archaic Petra, again, this isn't terrible, right? This is just not worth farming because only one character uses it, and you want to be spending your resin efficiently if you were farming for this. And you get Bolide with it, so it's even worse. Archaic Petra, I think only Ningguang uses it, and it gives you geo damage whenever you crystallize, which is, it's whatever. Bloodstained, you're not running physical. Who does that? Pale Flame, physical damage, you get attack, and then you double the physical damage after a skill or something. It's just Eula's set. It's not very good. No one uses Eula, she sucks. I have her, I think she sucks, but I still use her sometimes. But that's not the point. We then got the other side, which is, one character, or just, in my opinion, not worth farming at all. You have Husk giving you geo damage, and then defense and more geo damage as its 4-piece set. It's only really for Ito, I guess Chiori, maybe Albedo, but I think Golden Trope is just better for them. If you have these characters, by the way, it's probably worth strong boxing instead of farming for it, because maybe the other piece in that set is not worth, and it'll probably be more efficient to farm something else. Your next one is Ocean Hued Clam. All right, it's kind of like Maiden, but instead of more healing, it gives you a bubble on the ground that does damage after you reach a certain amount of healing that you've done. So I actually said this part wrong, but basically what it'll do is have a bubble on the ground, and then that bubble will explode after a couple of seconds, and that damage from the bubble will be based off the amount of healing you've done at a cap of 30,000. But yeah, I don't think it's that good. It's really only for Kokomi, and when you run her, you probably just run Song of Days Past or something, or just some type of EM set because you Hyper Bloom or something. Honestly, Ocean Hued is not very good. All right, you got Vorukasha, another one that's not very good. I think it's only for Nilou. You could use that as a 2-piece set, which would make it okay, but 4-piece, it just increases your skill and ult damage. Not too amazing, not too bad. It's okay. All right, but I wouldn't farm it. Vermilion, this is specifically for Xiao. I don't know anyone else who plunges and loses HP to gain more attack, but it's 2-piece. 18% attack or something, and then gives you attack based on the amount of HP you lost, or you get attack whenever you lose HP or something. Something like that. Not very good, only for one character, not worth farming, just strong box it, you know. Echoes, I think it's only for maybe Chlorinde, but even then it's not that good for her, and then it's mainly for Ayato as well. And I think it's also ping dependent, that's what I've heard. It gives you attack as its 2-piece, and then it'll increase your normal attack as it's 4, it's whatever. Desert Pavilion's next. This is Scarra's set. It's whatever. I think it gives you Anemo damage, attack speed, and then increase in normal, charged, and plunging. No Anemo character is gonna really use this but Scarra, so probably just strongbox it instead. Finally, in this tier, you have Echoing Woods, which is Navia's set. No other Geo uses attack, so this is literally only for her, and farming for it wouldn't be worth it, because if you don't have Navia, then this set's only good for her. And it's probably better just wait for it to come in strongbox. So yeah, gives you Geo damage, and then whenever you skill, you get more damage for Geo and attack. It's okay. Only good for Navia though, so remember that. Next tier, we got character and team dependent. Again, this is very character specific, or it just depends on where your team is. They're all still really good, right? It just depends if you have a certain team build or a certain character. With Wanderers, 2-piece is always great, EM is good. 4-piece, it just increases your charged and normal attack, I think? No, I think it's only charged. For Bow and Catalyst. Really good for someone like Ganyu, but no one really uses it anymore. Tenari is pretty good if you don't have Deep Wood. And then Linny's also decent. Not really used for much other people, because Catalyst you don't really charge attack. I mean, maybe Nuvula could use it, but there's a better set for him. It's okay. Thundering Fury. Basically what this does, you get electro damage, and then any type of electro reaction that isn't Hyper Bloom, I think, its damage gets increased. So like if you do Overload, I think you get like a 40% increase in damage, and it's not bad. Pretty good set for like someone like Sino, or if you like Kaching, these on her. But other than that, I don't really know much other people that could use it when there isn't, or if there's not a set better than, you know, Thundering Fury. Because with Raiden, you could technically use it on her, but Emblem's is better for her, so depends. Alright, Crimson Witch. Basically the same thing as Thundering Fury, but for pyro applications. If you do like Vape or something, it'll increase that damage. It's really only for Hu Tao, maybe Diluc. Not much other people use it. Like you wouldn't use it for Arlecchino unless you don't have a Whimsy set. Still okay, still pretty good, but probably better off strong boxing because you get Lava Walker, and that set sucks. Next you got Blizzard Strayer, cryo damage as its 2-piece. 4-piece, you get crit if they have cryo applied, I think 20%, and then you get another 20% if they're frozen. This is really only good for freeze teams. I know really Ayaka uses it, maybe Risley if you want to mess around. You could do it like, you could do like a weird Ayato build and then have it freeze, and then you get like 40 crit rate like that. But this set's really only good if you have Ayaka. Like I would put in Terrible, but I mean, you could use it on someone like Risley or something, or maybe some other cryo unit if they make one. Heart of Depth, good for Child, good for Ayato, not really that good for anyone else. Hydro damage as 2-piece. 4-piece, you get increased in normal attack and charge damage after you press your skill. If you have C61, it's pretty good, but if you don't, then it's whatever. Deep Wood, good for every Dendro unit, don't care what you say, it's good. Gives you Dendro damage, gives you Dendro resistance shred as its 4-piece. Very, very good, but only if you're running Dendro. Gilded, really good as well. Gives you EM, and I think it gives you elemental damage bonus depending on the reaction you've done. So if you do like Aggravate, I think you get Dendro and Electro buff. If not, then I'm not really sure. But I know it gives you some type of elemental bonus, either for one element or both. But yeah, really good if you're playing like Aggravate, Hyper Bloom, or just any type of, you know, major reaction team. Flower of Paradise Lost. This one is your specific Hyper Bloom one. Very good for Nilou. Honestly, you could probably run out of Xingqiu as well, or Yelan if you use those in your Hyper Bloom team. I'm not really sure like the specifics on how everything works, but I have like the general idea, and this just buffs the damage of Bloom, Hyper Bloom, and Burgeon, I think. So whoever can proc those, you just put on that. Very, very good, and it'll do a lot of damage. I don't know. I'm not sure how much it increases by. I think 30% or something. But if you ever run a Hyper Bloom team, probably might want this set. Wouldn't grind for it because it's probably better to farm for something else and strongbox instead. Nymph's Dream is next. Again, good for Ayato, good for Child. This is just harder depth, but better, I think. Kind of the same concept, but instead of getting the charge attack damage and normal attack damage immediately, you need to do 2 attacks or some amount of attacks, and then you get attack and hydro damage instead of the normal attack and charged. It's probably better than harder depth because you get attack and hydro damage, but I'm not too sure. Only really good for 2 units though, so keep that in mind. Whimsy is next. This is just a Bond of Life set. At 2 pieces, you get 18% attack, I think. And then your 4-piece set will increase your damage, your flat damage, by 54%, which is really good. All right. Unfortunately, it's character dependent, right? So if you don't have anyone that has Bond of Life, set's kind of useless. And it's Arlecchino's and Clorin's best set. I think you could do it with Siege Queen, but I don't think you'd play your DPS, so only good for those 2. Unfinished Reverie, don't know how to pronounce it. One of those. This is the Burning set, all right, another team dependent. And if you don't have someone like Amelie, Nahida, set's not really that good, but basically it just increases your damage or burning damage by 40% or 50%. And then when you're off field, it'll increase it by more. Pretty good if you do burning, all right, only for burning, nothing else. Next, you have the Natland ones. Cinder City, really good if you have a Natland unit. Basically, whenever you skill, you get energy, and then if you do an elemental reaction, you get increased damage for that reaction or for both. So you do something like Vape, it'll increase your hydro and pyro damage by like 40% max if you have a Natland character. If you don't, it's 12%. It's either for both elements or for only one. So like if you apply hydro and then do pyro, and that pyro unit has the Cinder City on, it'll either increase your pyro damage by 40 or it'll increase your both hydro and pyro damage by 40. Not sure, but it'll be for the whole team. Obsidian Codex, also character dependent, only for Natland units, but really good. It'll increase your damage by, I think, 15% whenever you go into Night Soul. Or yeah, whenever you go into Night Soul, you'll get increased damage by 15%. Really good. All right, that's a 2-piece. 4-piece, 40% crit. Press E on, say, someone like Chaska, right? You fly around, you hold left click, boom, you have 40% crit rate. Really good. Again, only for Natland units. This is their literal best one, all right? Support units, Cinder, non-support units, and then all DPS, so like Mavuika, Milani, Chaska, Kinich. Really good with Obsidian Codex. 40% crit, free crit, makes things a lot easier. So that's the 3rd tier. 2nd tier, we have Great Instructor. I wasn't gonna rate any purple artifacts like 4 stars, but I'm going to, because if you have Instructor, like a good set, you're running someone like Deya with Milani, you wouldn't run something like Millilith because you get attack from Millilith, and that doesn't work with Milani because she scales off HP. So you need something like Instructor, right? Good supportive set, gives you free EM. Your damages from Vape anyway, so very good. Gladiator's next. Overall really good. It's just damage, you know, can't be complained about that. Good for everything but Catalyst and Bow. So if you just have those set laying around and you don't have anything for them yet, use a Gladiator. Very good. Viridescent, only good for Anemo units, but whenever you swirl like something like Pyro, you'll shred their defense by 40%, I think, or 30%, which in turn gives you more damage. Very nice. Something like Jean, Venti, Kazuha, I think Sayu could work, and I think that's all the main Anemo unit. Yeah, one of those 4. Maybe Mizuki could use it. I don't know, but yeah, one of those 4 units. Use Viridescent, slam that on. Whenever you swirl, more damage. All right, just make sure you swirl the right element, or else you're losing damage, or not losing damage, but you're getting increased damage for your non-main carry, so like your sub DPS or something. Just try and swirl properly. All right, free damage. Next, you got Noblesse. Really good. Gives your team 20% more attack. I would put it in team dependent, but I think it's just great because you can just put on any type of support. You press the ability, boom, 20% attack. Something like Bennett's good. If you really wanted to, you can run a Xingqiu, but I think Emblem's still better. Candace isn't too bad because her ulti's not terrible. I think it is your shield. Heia's not not bad with either. Shangling is not too bad with either. Unfortunately, a lot of these minus Bennett work better with emblem instead because it just gives you more damage. But if you don't have an emblem set and you have no bless, you can put that on. They don't stack, by the way, so make sure you don't run multiple. Shimenawa, gives you attack, 2-piece, 4-piece. Whenever you press a skill, I think it'll make you lose 15 energy, and then you get increased normal attack, charge attack, and plunge damage, and you get it from farming emblem. And you can just put it on whoever. Anyone who, you know, uses one of those 3 can get Shimenawa. Good damage, kind of like Gladiator, but better. Millith, another supportive one. You get 20% HP, and then whenever you skill, it'll increase the shield strength, and you'll get 18% attack, I think. Very, very nice. Good for someone like Zhongli, maybe Layla, maybe Diona. Anyone that can give you like a shield or something, or just anyone that presses E. Alright, if you press E, you can get a buff out of it. Put Millith on, you get another buff. Very, very nice. Your final one in this category is Song of Days Past. Basically, okay, I'm gonna just cut off this idiot. This set actually sucks. This should be in like the terrible tier, like low key. But basically, what this thing does, like I researched this a bit more like after I make this, and this set basically, whenever you heal, you get this buff, and then that buff can increase your next 5 attacks damage by 8% of your total healing, which is only a max of 15k. And so you're doing like 8% of 15k, which is, I don't know, what is that? You're doing like an increase of like 1200 damage, which is not even that good. And it's only for 5 attacks. And there's like 10 other support sets that are probably better than this. So don't use this. This should be like at the bottom, because it's just not good. Oh, it could probably be good, but there's better sets. Don't farm this. This is still better than Maiden, so yeah, but still, just don't farm it. Alright, so that's all the second tier ones, alright? And the final tier, I feel like it's the most obvious. Your first one, well, this is not in like order, but the first one is Emblem, alright? The best. Literally goes for any type of sub DPS. It'll give you energy recharge as a 2-piece, 4-piece. You get a max of 75% increased ult damage. Xingqiu, Yalan, Shangling, who else? Raiden. If you want to do a weird Bennett, you could. But anyone that ults will use this set. Farm it, put everything in it. If not, you could use this set. Marshosei, very, very good. Normal and charge attack damage for its 2-piece. 4-piece, whenever you lose HP, you get crit. Max of 36. Nouvelette, Risley, Linny. If you have Farina, any team that has Farina in it will use this piece. Gives you 36% crit. Very, very nice. Makes things a lot easier. Can build a crit damage circlet. Unless you really don't roll crit, then maybe you might have to roll crit rate circlet. But generally, you can roll crit damage circlet instead, and you'll have a bunch of damage. Very good set, especially if you have Farina, because this will work on anyone. Golden Trope, also really good. Literally anyone who uses their E will probably use the set if their main damage is from their E. Pretty good. Well, that doesn't sound right. But yeah, things like Farina, very good to use. I think it's the best one. Yamiko, really good. Albedo, Oz, just anyone, or like any sub DPS that can press E and then dish out a good amount of damage. I think Shiori might be able to use it as well. And yeah, basically what the set does, you get 50%, I think, or yeah, you get 50% elemental skill damage. And then if you're off field, you get another 20, which is really nice. And so you get a total of 70%. You could do some weird builds with it. I'm I'll probably do like at least one day. And yeah, just anyone who presses E and that can play off field, boom, slap that on them, you're good. Free damage, all's good. And yeah, that's should be all the artifacts. I'm not gonna do the new ones because I don't really know how they work, and I didn't really look into them. So yeah, this isn't like some, you know, super good guide. This should just be like this should give you like a rough idea on what to farm, right? I'd give you like a priority list or like things you shouldn't farm and what you should farm. But in general, you want Trope and Marshosei number 1. All right, probably be a number 1 or number 2. Then Emblem, and then after that you can do whatever you want, because I don't know your account, and depending on the character you have, they might need something else, alright? But for most of your characters that you have, that you might have actually, probably Golden Trope or Marshosei that you'll need, and then Emblem. Shimenawa isn't something you'd use for everyone, right? It's still good, but it's more like a placeholder until you find something better. And farm whatever you need, strongbox whatever you need, if there's a character that you really like. But what I'm saying is like, oh, you shouldn't farm for this set because the other set in it is garbage. Don't listen to that. But in general, build units you want to play. Don't build units you don't want to play. and don't farm for things that are absolutely terrible. If I ever catch any of you farming something like bolide, yeah, I'ma hurt you. No, I'm not. Yeah, that'll be it. Again, I'm not a guide maker. I'm just giving you like a vague idea. If there's anything I messed up, let me know. All I really do is upgrade artifacts, and yeah, I don't do much else. Oh, I mean, I talk about other things and my opinion about this game and the other two. I would play Wupa, but God forbid I get anything good in that game. But yeah, that'll be it. All right, if you want anything else, let me know. I'll be happy to share my opinion. Oh, I do have something about a specific character that a lot of people don't really like for some reason. But yeah, that'll be it for me. Hopefully this helps the two people that were asking. And yeah, see ya.